Alright, so in today's episode of Try This Out, we're gonna actually change this coolant temp sensor. I unplugged the battery, it worked for a little while, and then it started acting up again. Did the same thing, it worked for another little while, started acting up again. So what I had to do was I already took this not this beauty cover, but this where the air flow goes, this thing here, took that off first. So all I did was loosen this, pull this out, up, and then before I can pull it off, there's this just push this tab right here in the bottom and it'll release this connection right here. This was on here, so when you push this up, pull back, this will come out. And lastly, this one, just take that off, loosen it, this will come right off. Then you just got these two little ball connections here. Lift up, again on this side, lift up, it'll come right off. So that came right off. So I managed to get that sensor whatever you call it, the harness. I managed to get it off without, it sits right inside there. See if I can zoom in a little bit. It's hard to see, but that's where it's sitting, right in there. So this like slides right on into there, into that connector right there, that black piece right there. I just zoomed on it. That black piece right there is the connector. So this plugged right into it. So the way I took it off was I used a pick tool and lift this red thing up. So once I lifted that red tab up, because originally this is on the down position, I lifted it up towards me. And once it lifted up, I made like I broke a piece of a stir stick and made like some kind of flathead tool to push this part. Where's that wire? There it is. So once you got this lifted up here, right, once this red piece is up, then you just use like a flathead thing, which I used that long stir stick. I pushed straight back, pushed it back, this lifted right up. Now I'm gonna wonder if I can get that off without having to take apart this what is this called? I forgot what this is called. This thing here. So I'm gonna try to attempt that, and if I can manage to get a socket in there and break it loose some kind of way with a swivel and get this done without taking that off, that made things a lot easier. So what I did next was I used a 1/4 inch 15 millimeter short socket with a 1/4 inch swivel. It's very tight down there and you're limited on space. So that's what's gonna work pretty good for me. Managed to crack it loose, and I'm gonna get that sensor out. And this is all without taking this I forgot what that's called, this thing off. So you only have a limited space before I got it loose. It turned off like almost all the way off, but as you can see, it's so tight in there. that swivel's starting to hit up against in there, so I'll have to disconnect and continue to spin it off with this. It's very loose now, so it shouldn't be a problem. It was still loose on there. I took it off. I used the magnetic tool to pull the swivel and the socket off. Now I'll use that long neck to take that off. So I ended up using this long neck. The one with the curve barely goes in there. I had trouble, so I used the straight long neck, and I'm just grabbing it from the tip where the harness connects and turning it off. As you can see, it's very loose, so should come off any minute here. Or maybe I can just grab the whole head of it. And I don't know if you can see, but that's where I got it. Now I'll zoom out and see if I can get a better, closer angle. So there it is there. Just turning it off. It's almost off. I mean, barely. Not much holding it. Just turning. There it goes. It's off. Coolant's starting to come out. That's right. Yeah, it's pretty much off, so I'll take it off and throw the new one on. Also forgot to mention I got aluminum tray thing to collect the coolant that's falling in. It's already dripping down. So once I take it off, more will go down in there. Alright, I got that sensor out. Looks really filthy over there. Probably get a vacuum and vacuum that out. Look like I ain't got a lot of crud on there. But here's the old sensor though. That's the new one. About to throw that on. Managed to vacuum it and clean all that coolant with a vacuum with a rubber tube connected. And it's not now clean down there. As you can see, more coolant came out. I vacuumed it a little bit more, but I just want to get any crud and stuff out from there. And it's pretty clean. I'll just wipe it one more time before I throw on the sensor. So I used a little pick tool to clean up any little debris that I was finding there and vacuumed it off. Then realized that some of that little debris is just that thread tape from the old one. So it looks pretty good enough to throw it on. So I'm gonna throw the new temp sensor on. So it was a major pain to get the new one on. I mean, to like turn it in there while you put it in the hole, because that sensor is not magnetic. I guess it's not metal. So what I managed to do is I dropped that 15 millimeter socket with a magnetic tool, and then I got a screwdriver flathead to get it to start turning in there. Let me try to put it back in place here. So now it's starting to turn. So just as long as you get it down inside enough for you to get that socket on with that swivel, that's all you really need. It's going down in there now. It's making progress. I'll try as much as I can to get it down some. And then I will try to put that swivel and the extension and starting to tighten it down real hard in there. But it's making progress though. It's going down. Almost done. I think that's almost enough for you to get that swivel down there with the extension. Looks like that's enough clearance now. It went down a good amount. Alright. Let's see if this magnetic tool can get this off and we can see what progress we made. Yeah, it went down some. Now I'll try to put that swivel on. If not, I'll have to keep doing what I just did right now. So it wasn't enough to get it on, so I'll continue to tighten it, put everything back, see how it runs. So I got it on there real tight. The new one's there, but I realized you should have it at an angle like how the old one was, so if you have to change this again, you're not gonna have a hard time to get that clip off. So I'm gonna turn it just how it was with the old one. Alright, got it back on. You should hear it click once that harness pops in place. Just use this to guide it and use the edge to push it in and you'll hear it click. So it's pretty much done. Now just put everything back in place. Also, I forgot to mention I removed this thing because it was kind of in the way. So you just push this tab. It's a compression fitting. I'll catch back now. Push it back in place. There it goes. Now we just put on the beauty cover thing, whatever. Maybe wipe it here if it's dirty. Let's see. Not too bad. You can wipe it with a little carb cleaner, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna leave this alone. And you should be good to go. We'll start it up too and see how it goes. When you start it up, I would disconnect the battery, try to reset the ECU. So I'll take off both the positive and negative. And also, I don't know if it's true or not, but I hear if you connect the negative and positive battery wire after you take it off the battery, it'll drain the system real quick. You know, kind of like turning on your headlight once it's disconnected. But I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I'm gonna do that and see how it goes. All right, everything seems fine. Temp gauge is working. Everything's fine. Actually, the temp gauge and everything was fine and the fan wasn't on after I reset the battery last time. But I figured I'll just change it anyways because I thought it might come back. But once I reset it the second time, I've been driving it a while, everything was still working. One time I noticed it was revving when I put back the mat. I realized I put it on the gas pedal, covering the gas pedal, and it was kind of idling a little weird, so I thought I had a problem to do with that. But anyways, that's how you change the temp sensor on a 2019 Acadia.